What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. So, I'm just going to leave this on the screen. Going to go into week 14. Where I was right, where I was wrong. Possible playoff implications and all that. So, you got the Lions beat the Packers on Thursday night. I was right about that. Implications are Green Bay is now in third place in the division. They could be working their way out of the playoffs. Detroit is closer to the number 1 seed, although Philly, I think, is still keeping pace. But we'll go into the standings and all later in the video. Steelers beat the Browns. Look, the Browns beat them the first time. They didn't play horrible this time, but to think that the Browns were going to go into Pittsburgh and really, they were kind of walking into a buzzsaw. They weren't going to figuratively catch Pittsburgh napping on this one. So I was correct about that one. The Saints beating the Giants, that's a no-brainer. The Giants are done. I don't know if they'll win another game. We've swept them, the Cowboys. The Eagles are probably going to sweep them. The Redskins are probably going to sweep them. It's over. And the Saints, I mean, they got an outside shot to still win the division. So the Saints are looking to try to make a playoff run, possibly. Although they fired their head coach, so it's going to be difficult. Dolphins beat the Jets. This is an overtime. So the fact that Dolphins had to take this to overtime is sad. But the Jets, they're trying to play spoiler. Pretty sure I picked the Dolphins. I might have picked the Jets for an upset. I think I might have picked the Jets. Either way, neither of these teams are going far. Jaguars beat the Titans. I did pick the Titans. Wow. They can only muster 6 against the Jaguars. Neither of those two teams are going anywhere fast except to the bottom. Vikings beat and hammered the Falcons. The Falcons started off kind of hot, kind of unexpected. Oh my gosh, here they come, Kirk Cousins show. And they have completely just fallen apart. They are probably out of the playoff picture. They're going to need a lot of help to get into playoffs and to win their next few games. Panthers are just dying slowly. What little hope they had of winning some games and maybe even making the playoffs and win the division, they had a shot until the Eagles pounded them into the ground. Score is closer than it was. The Eagles, Saquon Barkley gets hurt, they're screwed. They are riding Saquon Barkley. Hopefully he doesn't, but if he gets hurt, they're done. They are done. They got nobody behind him. They are done if he gets hurt. So we'll see. He always gets hurt. I think he's had 2 seasons in his 8-year career that he's been healthy and played a full season. Now, he's made it past the 13 game, which is usually the cutoff for him. But we'll see. And the Panthers are just a disaster. They're going to be drafting a new quarterback. Oh, Bryce Young's come out. No, Bryce Young's done. You got to do better than what he's done, and he's not. I'm sorry. Just ain't happening. The Bucks and the Raiders. Raiders falling apart. They need Bill Belichick or somebody. Buccaneers are still hanging on to the division, so I picked them to win the division. We'll see if they stay there or not. Seahawks defeat the Cardinals. I did pick the Seahawks. I did pick the Eagles, and I picked the Bucks. So the Seahawks beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals are falling apart slowly. Had the division and now are losing the division. The Seahawks could win the division for the first time since 2020 Be interesting. 49ers still have an outside shot if they win out. But it was easy against the Bears. They thumped the Bears. The Bears are just done. They're finished. They're smoked. Sound the alarm. Ring the fire bells. Whatever you want to put out there. They are done. 38-13 whooping by Brock Purdy and company. And that's without Christian McCaffrey. And yeah, I picked the Niners. I picked the Bills. The Rams could win the division as well. I thought the Rams would have had a side chance of making the playoffs. Did not expect the division to be this horrible. But 44-42, epic game. Bills unfortunately got behind early. They caught up, but it just wasn't enough. Sadly, wasted a Josh Allen performance for the ages. And once again, Sean McDermott creeps his ugly head into the picture. That's the one guy I do not trust. Whether it's the 13 seconds left against Patrick Mahomes, whatever you want to throw out there. The Bengals last year, any of it, I just don't trust Sean McDermott. I picked the Bills, so I was wrong there. I was wrong on the Chargers. Freaking daggone damn Chiefs win again. But they are struggling. They are going to need some help. They better get their shit together quickly because they're going to lose games like this in the playoffs, I'm going to tell you. But the Chargers offense better step it up. And I believe I picked the Bengals to beat the Cowboys. And they did. In heartbreaking fashion. Absolute heartbreaker. Special teams guy just got signed off the practice squad. Absolutely just heartbreaking. But them's the grapes, kiddo. So let's go into the playoff standings. So in the AFC East, you have the Bills at 10-3. So 4 games to go. Technically, the Dolphins, if they win out, could still win the division. Unfortunately for them, the Jets and Patriots are probably going to play spoiler. The Dolphins are going to have to give everything they have, and then some. I see them losing 1 or 2 more. I see the Bills maybe losing 1 more. The Bills are going to have this division. I'm sorry. It's just not feasible. So when we go to AFC West, the Chiefs own that division 12-1. They would have to lose out. And the Chargers and Broncos would have to win out. But I could see all 3 of those teams making the playoffs, making an interesting third matchup between any of those teams. Chiefs more than likely going to win the division. Chargers and Broncos staying alive, though. Broncos a lot better than people thought. I said they were going to be better. I liked Bo Nix a lot more than most. And he's showing up and showing out. And the Raiders were dead when the season started, so yeah. You don't have you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none. So AFC North. Steelers lead the division at 10-3. Ravens had the bye week, they're 8-5. Bengals are 5-8. Bengals are not winning the division. I picked them to win the division earlier in the season at the start, and it's just the 0-2 has finally caught up with them. And the Browns are 3-10. They've been eliminated since week 3. They're just week 1. You knew they were done. They just got destroyed by Dallas, and you see how bad Dallas is, and you're like, how much worse are the Browns? Well, they're at least 2 to 3 games worse than the Cowboys. AFC North, Texans are leading that division, but they could lose it to the Colts. Colts 5-6-7, 8-5. Texans lose a couple more, or lose out, and the Colts win out. The Colts could take the division. It's not over. So while the Colts are 2 games behind, if Texans drop a couple games or more, the Texans have struggled. I don't know. I'm sticking with the Texans, but I don't love it. And quite honestly, I don't love their chances in the playoffs versus a Baltimore, Pittsburgh, LA Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs, Bills. I don't like it. And the Jaguars and Titans are just horrendous. Now let's see. Now let's go to the NFC divisionals. Eagles probably going to win the division 11-2. Commanders still have a chance. If they win out and the Eagles lose out, they got another matchup coming up. Dallas got another matchup. Maybe we can spoil them. I don't think the Eagles are going to win out and go, 14-2 or 15-2. Yeah, 15-2, but they might. I doubt it. I think it's more realistic 13-12 wins for them. Probably 12 or 11 wins. The Commanders probably going to make the playoffs, but it's, we've already beat them once, so that doesn't bode well. Dallas could still have a winning record, but not much else. And the Giants are just toast. They need to just lose out and get their draft pick, get Shedeur Sanders or whatever they're going to do there. NFC West, Seahawks lead the division. The Rams are now in second place at 7-6. The Cardinals are at 6-7, and the Niners are at 6-7. Any one of these 4 teams could end up winning this division. Any of the 4 teams could win it. The 49ers, the Cardinals, the Rams, the Seahawks, all in play here. I'm sticking with the 49ers, but I think the Rams might take it. They want it more. I don't know what it is. The Cardinals are losing their edge. The 49ers are getting some momentum. So maybe, and I don't think the Seahawks are going to win out. But the 49ers are going to have to win out. Rams are going to have to win. I mean, it's going to be interesting. That's going to be the division to watch. That one and this one, the NFC North. Lions I don't see them dropping 4 games. They are in it to win it. But the Vikings are 1 game behind, 11-2. The Vikings could still win this division. The Packers could still win this division. Theoretically. But not likely. Now 3 games behind, losing 2 to Detroit. Probably going to lose to Minnesota again. I see the Packers maybe making the playoffs. 3 teams from this division will probably make playoffs. But I think it's the Vikings and Lions. Lions, I think, are going to end up with the division. Vikings will be a wild card team. And the Bears, well, yeah. Rebuild. NFC South, Buccaneers at 7-6. 6-7 are the Falcons. 5-8 are the Saints. And Panthers are at 3-10. Panthers are done. They are eliminated. Don't give a flying poop when anybody says they're eliminated. Not happening. They're not winning the division. They're not making the playoffs. Saints, not likely, but the Falcons and Bucks, between them, I'm taking the Bucks, but Falcons get on a hot streak. I don't see it, but it could happen. So that is your standings right now for each division. We'll do playoff standings in another video, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit notifications. Once we hit 100, doing a free giveaway. Love y'all. Peace out.